All right, so so now we're gonna talk about how to graph something like -2 x minus 1 squared plus 8. How do I graph this function? Can you tell me what a vertex is? 1, 8, good. So you guys did a good job already. So I just want to kind of talk about this for a second. We're going to start in the vertex form again. It's going to be 1, 8. Is anybody don't understand why that is? Let me know. Is this okay? Is it facing up or facing down? Down, good. So it's gonna have a small curve like this, right? Now, I need more than one point to graph because I only have vertex. You can generally know what the graph look like, but you don't know what happened to the rest of the graph. Can you find x? Can you find y-intercept first? What is a y-intercept in this case? How do you find y-intercept, by the way? So at first, I will probably say find vertex, right? That means here's 1, 8. We already did that. Second, I will say find y-intercept. How do I find y-intercept on any type of equation on SAT? What do you do? Plot 0 for x. So it'll be f of 0 equal to -2 times 0 minus 1 squared plus 8 is equal to -2 times 1 plus 8 is equal to 6. So this is a second point on this parabola that you need to pay attention to. All the parabola has a y-intercept. In this case, y-intercept is right there. But that's also create a mirror image because there was an axis symmetry right here, right? So that means on the other side of axis symmetry is going to create another point that's called corresponding point. There's another point on the other side. Am I okay so far? Is this understandable? Okay. Now, how do I find x-intercept? Y is 0. In this case, y is f of x, right? So 0 equal to -2 times x minus 1 squared plus 8. What do I do first? What? What'd you say, Isaac? Bring over the 8. Winston says expand them. Both of them are correct. One of them is easier. Which one's easier? Move the 8 to the other side. So that's equal to -8 equal to -2 times x minus 1 squared. You can expand them. You're going to get the same answer. What do you do next? Divided by -2. So that's equal to 4 over x minus 1 squared. What do I do next? Square root. Now, what's going to be equal to, Lyndon, on the left-hand side?
What? Like -2?
I'm glad that he mentioned plus -2. Do you guys know that square root, if you square root for both sides, you should have a plus minus? I purposely missed there. But you should get plus -2 equal to x minus 1. X equal to 1 plus 2 and 1 minus 2 equal to 3 and -1. So 3 and -1. That becomes the whole graph. So that becomes the whole problem. You can find all the information here. Learn to start finding x-intercept, y-intercept. Learn how to evaluate. You're going to be Mr. Ye. How about we approach Winston's way? Can you expand that? Can you move the 8? Can you expand that and factor it? Yes, you're going to get the same answer, but I feel like slightly slower. It doesn't mean it's wrong. I will tell you, you should keep all options open. Right? You don't know which one's going to be the one you remember on the test, but understand that they can do it this way. So I'm teaching you how to find x-intercept, y-intercept. It's very important on any other type of equation on SAT. Sometimes they just want you to find x-intercept. Sometimes they just want you to find y-intercept. When they say f of 0, that means what? X is 0. So what is that? Is that y-intercept or x-intercept? That's a y-intercept. So if I say f is 0, that's a y-intercept. So they can ask you that too. So make sure you understand a little bit detailed things about that. So this is how you graph the vertex form. Is this okay for everybody? Okay. So now if in standard form, it's going to be like this. Let's see if I can come up with a standard form. So it'd be negative 2x squared plus ax plus, I don't know. Let me see if I can come up one. Negative 2x squared plus 8x plus 6 maybe? Plus 24? Plus 24 is good. Okay, so now here's the thing. I want you to find the vertex form of this. You already taken notes yesterday. Look up yesterday. How do you find the vertex form of this equation? How do you find vertex form? I would say find axis symmetry first. Good job, Olivia. It's Olivia, right? Good. Negative b over 2a. And also negative b over 2a, do you remember that's one quadratic formula? It's the first part, so you don't need to memorize that. A lot of time people memorize stuff. I'm like, there's keep a minimum amount of memory inside your head. When you go in math, just understand the key informations. What is the key informations? You don't even have to know discriminant is positive to have two solutions. You have to make sense out of it. If negative b over 2a is equal to 0, that means there's one solution. Make a sense out of it because the radical is completely 0. Just left with negative b over 2a. That's your solution. That's your f1 x-intercept. Do you guys got vertex form yet? Sydney? Did you get vertex form yet? Did you get axis symmetry yet? Yes, you did? Okay. This is axis symmetry. All right. Did you guys got it? X equal to negative 8 over 2 times negative 2, right? So it'd be negative 8 over negative 4. That's equal to 2. Is that okay? Now that's 2. And you say, okay, well, 2. Great. I'm going to plug in 2 into the function because this is the x coordinate of the vertex. Then I can plug in 2, so it'll be negative 2 times 2 squared plus 8 times 2 plus 24. That's equal to negative 2 times 4 plus 16 equal to plus 24. That's equal to 40 minus 8 equal to 32. So it will be 2 comma 32, would you say? So that is the vertex, right? Do you guys got that or no? Diego, did you get that? What didn't you make sense before?
We don't want the B and A words and then after that.
It's a coefficient in front of the letter. Yeah, so good. That thank you for pointing that out. So this is A, this is B, and this is a C. Right? So that's how you figure out. That's how you find quadratic formula, by the way. So you find a vertex. Good. Do you know what's vertex form? What is a vertex form?
A negative 2.
X minus 2 squared plus 32, right? But what am I missing? A. What is a negative 2? What is A here? Negative 2. So you just change it to here, you put it right here because they have shared the same A. Does that make sense? Negative 2. By the way, out of here, is it possible to find x-intercept or not? Out from here, do you think it's possible to find x-intercept? From standard form, can you find x-intercept? How do I find the x-intercept? Okay, then what do you, this is equal to 0, and what do I do after that? Good, but there is also another way. Do you know the second way? Quadratic formula. But the first way is better because if the first way works, then you're going to do it the first way. Because it's a factorable, you can factor this. Guess what? This can change to a factor form. And this is called factor form. You guys probably say, hey, how come you didn't introduce factor form? If something is factorable, you have factor form. I use a box method. You didn't see it because I can think in my head what's 1, 1, 6, and 2 to get negative 4. I can think that. Most of you guys should start thinking the box method inside your head if the first coefficient is 1. It's like learning how to play chess without blindfolded chess. Doesn't mean it's possible. You just have to try it. So this is factor form. What does this factor form tell me? Where's the x-intercept is? X minus 6 is equal to 0. It's called zero product property. And x equal to 6 and x equal to negative 2, right? Is that okay? And now I can graph it. I have a point. Usually, you just need 1 point and 1 other point on the parabola. Because you can graph one side of the parabola, you can graph the other side. Yeah, so it's mirror image, right? So you can graph the whole thing. Is this okay? With this being said, do you guys understand? I'm going to show you a second way to do convert from vertex form in a very, very short way. You guys also learn about this as well. The second way to change to vertex form. The second one is harder. Not always applying, not always useful, but it's going to be useful for SAT in one purpose only. It's happened now in quadratic, but it's going to be in terms of circle. So it's called completing the square. Have you guys learned about completing the square? Anyone remember how to do complete the square? Now this one's a little bit harder, but it's okay. First step is to, I'm going to color code this, is parenthesis First two term. Parenthesis the first two term. Second step, factor out the leading number. Leading number. Not the GCF, just leading number. What's the leading number here? -2. Just factor this out. That's it. Just only factor -2 out. That's the A part, right? We want to get to vertex form. It must have an A part. We can take that out. And if you take that out, it's going to be -2 times x squared minus 4x plus 24. And leave some space here. Why do you leave some space? Because we need to complete the square. Third, take the middle term. So take the middle term, middle number, middle coefficient actually, divided by 2 and square. So it's kind of different than negative b over 2a. So don't get confused with negative b over 2a. It's actually b over 2 square. So it'd be -4 divided by 2 and then square like this. And don't be lazy, write it out again because you can use this later. It's going to be -2 square. Is that okay? And don't be lazy because you can use that later. That's equal to 4. Am I going too fast? Emily, am I going too fast? It's okay? You had a question earlier? Emily, you got it? You understand? Middle term divided by 2 square. What's the middle term? The -4. I take not the -4x, but the -4. The coefficients, the number. Divided by 2 square. I'm going to add this 4 right here. The problem is you adding 4. Am I really adding 4 to this equation? Am I really adding 4 to this equation? What am I adding? Or what am I subtracting for this matter? Who says -8? Good job. Why is -8?
You multiply by the leading numbers.
Why? Because you're not just only adding 4. You cannot change this equation. And how do I not change it? Figure out what the net gain is, or net loss. In this case, you have a net loss of 8. So you must plus 8 in the back. So then all you gotta do is factor this, which is use this, very useful, x minus 2 squared plus 32. And I changed to factor form with it. And something very, very easy for completing the square. I'm teaching you this now so you can use on SAT if you can see circle equation. Sometimes you get a circle equation. I'll show you very quickly by Monday. So that way you know the circle equation. Is this okay? You guys want to try it? Okay. I'll give you an easy one here. I'm going to ask you a few information, not only one information. Okay. 3x squared plus 12x minus 36. Now, here, I'm going to give you a hint first. So first, we're going to use this to find vertex form. Use the first way. So first way using the axis symmetry. And a lot of you guys going to end up sticking with this way. But I also want you to try the second way, completing the square. You can verify with each other. You can verify, if you use axis symmetry, if you get it. So completing the square. Now, never set yourself only know how to do one way to do things. A multiple way to do things, that's how a good math student thinking. So try to do one way first, and you know how to get one answer. Now try the second way. Think about how do I do a second way as well, because I'm gonna test you. Sometimes I'm gonna say use complete the square to find the vertex form, and you gotta be able to do it. You gotta learn how to do it. Don't be like, oh, I don't want to learn new things. The whole idea is the whole notion you come to school is just learn new ideas. You're not just like keep yourself in one way. Check each other, see if they don't know how to complete a square, help them. Do you know how to complete a square? Who knows how to complete a square here? You got it? Good. Make sure everybody know how to do it. I'll give you another one until you get better. Then you know how to do both ways? It verifies?
Did you leave a space? Make sure to put your 36 verticals.
Yeah. There's some 36. There's 12, like that's what that's right?
Yeah, but I put the current plus sign on that one. Negative.
But if it was so that's what I got.
Yeah, that's right. So what you do there is take like three,
Yeah, right. 3 and it's like -12. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Because of Alice.
So like how did you get is f of x equals I don't know. Whatever this is, you do like the opposite. Yeah, but I don't know if x minus 2, we're just going to make this x minus 2 equals and then x equals 6. So then you have to make x plus.
I'm gonna add one more idea. Can you change it to factor form and find the x-intercept? If you finish complete the square, can you change it to factor form and find x-intercept? Yeah.
In the second way, like completing the square, when you leave that space for that number, but you find the number, and then you have to like subtract the number on the outside by.
Not subtract, you have to multiply. So whatever, if you that number is, yeah, so whatever this number is for, you're gonna times -2. And you're gonna find out you have a net loss of 8. So in the back, in order to gain back to come back to the same equation, is you have to have a plus 8 in the back. Does that make sense? It's the opposite because you want to make a balance. Like chemistry class, you need to balance the electrons or balance the charges. Yeah, huh?
What was the other idea?
I need you to find the factor form, which is how do you use this and change the factor form and find x-intercepts.
So where is zero?
You can find x-intercept through 2 ways. One is the quadratic formula, which is number usually tend to be slightly bigger if you do quadratic formula, but you gotta be able to handle it. I'm gonna pull a SAT question about quadratic. I'm gonna show you. Oops. What am I trying to do? Yeah, for you.
Yeah.
Wait, so I just have to example. You just leave like.
No, factor form, yeah, factor. Find the x. You could do quadratic.
Make y 0.
Like factors, 3x. Take a 3 out, that's good. X squared. Oh. Divided by 7. Factor of 3, so it's x squared plus 4. 5 x squared plus 4x minus 12 is equal to the parentheses. That equals 0.
Those are like parentheses. Did you get 3? Well, that's 3 starting on the outside.
You can't factor it. Oh, you're giving me the egg instead?
Yeah.
I'm giving you the whole equation.
It's like the 2
Yeah. I I just solved it.
That's what,
Okay, so SAT question, this question is super easy. You can actually do it without decimals, but you can definitely do this question with decimals. I'll try. So this is what? Factor form, right? That's the vertex form, right? What's the question's asking? I'll try again. I can, but the other side's the answer, so I don't want to show you the answer.
Where's T?
Think. What did I tell you? Like, don't ask me question. You gotta ask yourself a question. What does T represent?
okay, so it's no, think about it. It's looking for your for the answer. That's your x intercept. And then y equals to you. So do that. And so like expand that into standard form.
No, there's a shorter way to do that. Remember, we talked about a shorter way.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, so that's your mark.
Did everybody know how to complete a square first of all? Anybody doesn't know? I need to go over. Ask me if I need to go over. You know, go over. Let me go over that part first, and you guys can wonder about this question. Do you know how to use axis symmetry to find the vertex form? Samuel, do you know how to use axis symmetry to find it? You do? Are you sure? You don't have to be.
No, I got that. I got that one and that.
Okay, you got. Okay, so that's fair. Does anybody else need me to go over axis symmetry? So I can take this. I'll print to see the first two terms. Is that okay, Samuel?
Yeah.
I'll factor out 3. Is that okay? I take the middle term divided by 2 and square. That's equal to 2 squared. That's equal to 4. So I'm gonna plus 4. But am I really adding 4 here? You have to subtract 12 in the back, right? Because we are net gain of positive 12. So it'd be 3 times x plus 2 squared minus 48. And hopefully that's your equation. Yes. Because you cannot alter the equation. If you, let's say, you want to maintain the same weight, and you want to be an actor, okay? You want to be an actor, and this part's neither you gain weight. And then so you gain weight. And after the movie, you say you have to lose weight. I don't know if you ever seen those movies that those people had to gain and lose. They had to go back to normal. Like, I don't know, like Thor. Remember there's a fat Thor and there was a nice looking Thor. But he had to gain the weight. And then he had to lose the weight. Well, he actually I think he put like something inside to make it like bellies and stuff like that. But you don't want to change. So you gain something, you lose something in the back. It's like electrons. Okay, electron, you have Na, which is sodium, plus 1. In the back, has to be chloride, has to be minus 1. Plus 1 and minus 1 cancel each other. Now it becomes neutral. Emma, what's so funny? I have like a, I don't know, I have like a, I'm very easy to get distracted different things in my own mind. In my own mind, I get distracted different things when I'm teaching. I'm trying to come up with a metaphor, analogies that it makes sense to some people, but doesn't make sense to some people. So I don't. Okay, did you guys get a sense answer? What is that? Is it 8? Yeah, it's 8. Or you can graph it, look for the x-intercept on decimal, because you have decimals now, right? Yeah, I really think so. But a decimal does give you some, but sometimes they give you a question that decimals cannot do. I'll show you right now. So we can only pick the hard questions. No, they're not that hard. The hard question, they're not like extremely hard. Okay, sorry, I don't like this question. This question is actually on Blue Book. I'm gonna choose SAT. So the way you choose is this. You're gonna say algebra, or you're gonna use advanced algebra, because algebra is only linear, which is kind of weird. And I will choose the exclusive active questions, because this is not part of Blue Book. So that way, when you're training this stuff, you actually understand what is going on. So I'm gonna pick hard one. So that becomes very selective, only 40 questions. This is the first one, which is, that's somewhat easy. Wait, how do I cross it out? So I don't know what this question is. Let's look at it. Oh, that's a great question. The math of doing this question and decimals doing this question is so different. And this is a question that we're gonna spend the next few minutes to talk about this. I want you to look at this. We're gonna talk about non-math solutions first. So you guys can write a question down. It's kind of important. But you are gonna, this is a harder question of SAT. But first of all, you had to get to the harder part first. Module 1 is going to be all the easy questions. You have to know the percentages. So for example, if I say $80 meal, if I decide to pay 15% tips, do you know how much is after the tips? No? And that's bad. You do? Times by what? No. Times by 1.15. Because 1 is the original cost of the meal. Plus 0.15% of the tip. So it's 1 plus 0.15. So it's 1.15. So you're going to use a calculator. You times 1.15. Because if you do 0.15, you still have to add the original cost, which just take longer to do. So if you just do 80 times 1.15, that's your tip plus the meal. I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but I'm going to.
If you're only finding the tip,
Then you point some 0.15. But if you want to say how much the meal costs with the tip, then you times 1.15. But also you can have a coupon as well. Let's say you got a coupon for like 15% to Hollister, and you say, I'd really find this cute shirt. See, my brain's everywhere. I see this cute shirt I have to buy, and it's cost $80, and I got a 20% coupon. How much you have to pay? Times by 0.8, because 1 minus 0.2. So it's 0.8. So those are things that you had to get better, but you had to practice those questions. I didn't have a chance to practice. I didn't have a chance to teach percentages but percentage is probably the most important thing in math, as far as financial perspective. Like I teach a bunch of fifth grader outside of school actually, and then we'll bring like a episode of Shark Tank, and we'll watch a Shark Tank, and we'll talk about percentages. We'll say, you know, what's evaluation of this company? 20% is 200,000. What is the evaluation of the company? You had to think about all this stuff. Very important. Investment world, very important on percentage. Don't be like this 7th grade math. I don't remember any 7th grade math. Go back to memorize 7th grade math. One day you're gonna put your money in the down payment to your house. You need to know the percentage. $700,000 house. You need to pay 20% of the down payment. Is 280,000. Oh no, sorry, 140,000. Right? So it's 20%. So you have to know that inside your head, because the lender can make up different kind of number. They will trick you, and that's going to be a difference before you pay extra $500 per month or less than $500 per month. You might think that math is not useful. In many situations, like those math are very, very valuable. So let's look at this question. How many people got an answer? Uh-huh. So I'm going to show you two ways to do this. First of all, the key word in here is what? What is positive? B is a positive. Okay, that's a key word. I will agree. Okay, what other things is important here? The most important phrase here.
1 point.
1 point. I'm glad you say 1 point. You're a genius. 2y is equal to 4.5. By the way, do you know how to graph this? This just means what is, right? Y equal to 2.25. What'd you say?
1 point.
No, that's a one line. You had to, first of all, there was two things. There was 2y equal to 4.5, right? And then there is y equal to 2.25. So there is a horizontal line at 2.25. So I hear 2.25. There was a parabola only intersect once. So something that's going to go only intersect once. How do I make it only intersect once? All the things we learn about anything, how do we make it only intersect once? Start with a D, the word. The word start with a D. I had talked about it last time. Ashley is looking back. Yes? What? Thank you. Discriminant. Discriminant is this. So remember, we can set those two functions equal to each other. 4x squared plus bx is equal to 2.25. Right? Move it to the other side because we always want to look at this way. Now we're going to find discriminant. What is the discriminant? B squared minus 4ac is equal to what? We want it equal to or greater to? Equal to 0. Good. So it'd be b squared minus 4 times c is 2.25 equal to 0. Are you following me so far? Do you guys understand? Okay. B squared is equal to 16 times 2.25. I don't know what 16 times 2.25 is, but I know that I can do this without calculator, so I'm just trying to show off right now. So 9 over 4. This, because that's 9 over 4. This is a 4. B squared equal to 36, and B is equal to 6. So B is equal to 6. How many of you guys understand what I did? Yeah, if you don't understand, just raise your hand. Okay, Ashley, what you don't understand? Huh?
Like when you.
This one? That's a discriminant. Discriminant last week we talked about if discriminant equal to 0, that means one solution. Are you following me? Yes.
Isn't the force supposed to be negative?
Uh,
Like the equation says negative 4x squared. I think you wrote it.
oh, is it negative?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so this is supposed to be both negative, by the way. So let me write down this is negative, and this is negative. Is that okay? Because that's both negative. I tend to make two mistakes, and I got it right. So, unfortunately, that happens. And that's still equal to the 36. Still positive. Still go back to the right side. Now let's show you how to do this question on the decimals. In terms of decimal, you just have to graph 2y is equal to 4.5. So you got this, right? And you got negative 4x squared plus bx. Pay attention what I'm about to do. Do you see that ass slider over there?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to change to this side. Do you see this ass slider there? You're going to add slider. And you're going to move this point until you got one thing. And there you go. You got one solution. You find out b is equal to 6. You can do it without understanding the discriminant, which is this is kind of cheap. I think the other way is better, but not everybody can do it that way. At least you can do it this way. Now this is going to be question 19 on a module 1 or module 2. So it's very high difficulty. This is about level, if it's scale 1 to 5, this is level 4.5. There are some level 5, it's very hard to find. I will tell you, like my student, if they listen to me, they do well. And one student just texted me earlier, hey, Mr. Yeah, I got 790 on math. Some people have 790 combined.
Yeah.
You ever had a kid get a perfect score?
I have multiple kids got perfect score. There's a one sit over there. He got Jerry Richmond. He got 36 on ACT. Huh? He was asking, do you have any kid got perfect score? I said you got perfect score in ACT. Not in SAT though. And you got what? And they paid $0 for tutoring.
Staying today.
What?
I gotta go do physics. I'm not staying today.
You got what?
I gotta go do physics.
Oh, good. Go.
I gotta get better than Andrea. Mr. Yeah. My goal is to get better than Andrea at physics. She's
Andrea who?
crazy. The one that got like a 9 or something, the sophomore.
She's very she's very she's all around it. Like she's not only pretty talented, she's not extremely talented. She's not like Jared or Anthony, but she is 80% of what I have. But she has 100% work ethic, so she can achieve the same thing as them. But that's how they are as a student, so they can figure out a way to increase their levels. It's like some people, they are not talented basketball kid, but they still make it to NBA. Why is that? It's all just outwork other kids, right? Outwork other things. So it's not about talent. Sometimes the most talented people, they play on the OBT, they play on the street. Right? I mean, that's just the way it is. It's not about talent. They don't have the work. They're not like Kobe. You too. They know where to be there, right? So, but at the same time, you got some people that wanting to work is a multiplier. You wanting to work is a multiplier. I have a good future in you. Like you can probably go pretty far, but you gotta willing to work. Don't be lazy.
I gotta do physics. I would be like, we have the ranking thing. I mean, nobody agreed to it, but like, I was put fifth at the bottom. It was bad. So I'm gonna go through physics. I'm gonna get number one was Andrea. I'm gonna get topper and already her.
Alejandra, that's her name.
What?
That's her name, Alejandra.
Oh really? I've been calling her Andrea the whole time.
Alejandra Ramos.
Why doesn't she ever correct me?
She's chill person.
Like, I called Alex Max for like a whole month. And Russell too.
I call Max at the very beginning because I can keep on thinking he related to Max Long.
I am related.
Yeah, no. I mean, so that's why I call you Max.
So I thought like his
I don't
name
call
is
you
Max.
Alex.
He
And
has,
you
like,
guys
six
both
names.
end with an X, so it's like,
Yeah.
Jerry, if you want to play, you better organize the table now.
Five years,
Ooh.
for like 5 years, even if they didn't have my brother, they just don't know my name.
Alex. I mean, Max is so much easier to pronounce. My son named Max, by the way. So because like my goal is to create as little syllable for him to write it on the test, so they can have a vintage on the time, 10 seconds on the time.
2 seconds. You should just do like a letter in Chinese.
That's the people's first name, you know. Max here is like people's first name.
Yeah, that's like so. Why you?
I try to create like very small names. Where are Puerto Rican? Puerto Rican? Venezuela? Now Puerto Rican has a long last name. They have like mom last name, dad last name, and they all combine together. I'm like, yeah.
My last
What do you want? Don't talk to me about grades. I'm not talking to anybody about grades.
You averaged my test grade today.
Okay, what's your grade?
Huh?
What's your grade supposed to be?
It should be.
What did you get on first time?
I got a 72 and a 79. And you put in a 150 instead of a 151. And
At what point that's not going to make a difference?
it bumps me to another letter.
Every day.
It bumps me to another letter. Yeah.
You had to do better. Too.
Because I thought they earned it, like I got it from the test.
Andrea, how?
You have to earn it better. I don't know.
Did you, are you putting credit for the meeting?
But
I know, I mean,
you know how much I hate people talking to me about
yes,
grades.
I do. I
Okay,
know. I
so
do the same thing.
I don't look at a grade. I look at a person's value, how they approach it when they fall.
Yeah, I know I
And
do
that
better.
by arguing point is not a way to debate about how to improve. By arguing point doesn't make you a better student. By arguing point does not make you a higher score. By fighting every chance you can get to get better, that's a way to get better.
Like when I watched you read the entire test, I did it right. I can show you my work.
It's not just all right. I don't give you easy way out, especially you.
No,
If it's anything, I'm gonna make it harder for you to earn.
I know that.
And that sorry, but that's because I have very high respect of you.
Yeah.
If you want, this is the same argument between a lot of people. Like, for example, Xavier's brother, his brother is here, Jew or whatever. They all scared me because why? Because Xavier, I told him, says, don't argue with me 1 pity point. No, earn it outright by your own. So if you're gonna come in, try to fight for that single point, I don't want to give it to you just because out of spite. It's not because out of spite. It's because I think highly of you. If I give you that point, I make it easy for you. I'm not gonna make it easy for you, Safa. I'm gonna make it harder for you to earn. You're gonna have to earn it outright.
I'm aware of that, but I earned it on the test. Like, that was my grade for the
Uh-uh.
test.
You're gonna have to earn it more than that because your talent is way up there and you mess up and you
I
gotta
know
get
I messed
better.
up,
Right
yeah.
now you're arguing that 1 point does not make it that. It does not make you that. And the grade doesn't matter. What happened? You guys should care about the knowledge rather than the grade. Now you care about grade. I'm not gonna do anything about the grade. I'm not. Sue me if you want to. I don't care.
No, that
I don't give a shit. But I care about the kids who are fighting for the goddamn grade. They are gonna fight. They cannot just say, come in fact to me, argue about points. They have to fight out the test, on the test. If I have expectation of you, that means you gotta do better. You gotta be the one that come to me and says you give me extra point rather than you should give me extra points. Those are two different aspects of the life. The aspect of life, you should put yourself in higher standard, not lower standard. You cannot lower the standard that way, Safa. If you want to disappoint me, you can argue that point.
yeah, that's okay. I'll just work harder next quarter.
You have to. I mean, I have higher expectation. You know how much I value you?
I don't know. Maybe.
A lot.
Thank you.
But if you're gonna do this, look at Nelly. Nelly make a mistake, 3 square, and he got it wrong. He got a one question wrong, and I says you make too many mistakes. Now, why don't I say the same thing to other kids that's in the room? Because that gives you a compliment that you have to hold yourself to a higher standard. Not to go and argument with one petty point. One petty point does not make point doesn't goddamn grade. I don't give a shit about grades. Grades not relevant for anything. If you want a grade, go to a Roman. That's how you care about grades. That's gonna get straight A. Thank you. That's the only thing that I'm asking you to do. I'm not a fair person, by the way. I give people the grade they think they deserve there. But when they are asking me for 1 point for that, that's a wrong way to approach life. They should say, damn, I make so many mistakes. I gotta fix those mistakes. That's the right mentality to treat things. You caught me in the wrong day. I'm so sorry.
No, you're totally fine. I deserve it. Okay.
But I will tell you, the point doesn't goddamn matter. The point doesn't matter. The point doesn't matter. I can make up a grade for every single person student I know right now. And nobody can do any damn thing about it. But you have to show me you're worth it. I see Astrid is improving from a 20 to a 66. Guess what? He has 75, I'm gonna move to 80. Why? Because you know how hard Astrid works. And you know she doesn't deserve a B. Doesn't deserve a C. Now, I won't give him A, no. That's too far-fetched. But you have to have the right mentality, Safa.
I will starting after this quarter. Like after like I'll start next quarter. Like on Monday, you'll see me with the right mentality.
Thank you. That's the only thing I'm hoping for. Okay? I'm sorry to. I'm not in a good mood today when people try to mess with me. I'm gonna say whatever is need to be said. I think people don't understand the valuable of working hard and the valuable to understand everything precisely. Where they make mistake, how do they fix it? Why should the SAT score haven't improved it? Why? Why? Because you make simple mistakes. You rather get 1 point here, or you rather get 50 points on your SAT increase. So practice what is goddamn like focus on your mind. Says, I need to train my mind to be 100% on path. I need to train my mind so I don't add 100 plus 100 equal to 100.
That was bad on my part.
Yeah, but that's 1 point there. If you want to debate about that, you should think about that. Wow, yeah. I could do much better than this.
Yeah, just all making those like random mistakes.
And that I understand. Also, don't put pressure. If you put pressure, you cannot perform as well. You have to understand. You have to have a clear mind. I have to lock in, focus on everything else. Why do I value you a lot? Because you are such a wonderful person. You can teach anybody. Teach the people I cannot teach. You have so much capability. But right now, you argue with me that's winning for me. Yeah. All right.
I have a meeting, so I can't be here today. I'm having a neighbor today.
In an FAT, what equation should I remember? I was writing down the equation B quadrant.
B square minus, yeah, that's discriminant. That's important. You have to remember everything.
So that's like, which like equations would help, but like they don't give it in the formula.
This is one of them. Quadratic formula. Linear, quadratic. I don't know. It's just like a lot of basic things. I cannot tell you. There's so many things.
All right, I'll do research.
Yeah, just research. I'm pretty sure you can Google it, and people's gonna tell you this is all the formula you need to know. But yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Yen.
Sorry, I'm not in a good mood today.
I'm so good. I understand.
I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet. Somebody is debating with me. I'm a racist, but I don't give a shit. But
Very maybe.
obviously, but that's okay. When there is people too sensitive about little things, they have to now be non-sensitive in order to improve. If they want to be the best, you don't have to worry about what other people say. If you want to be good, you don't have to worry about what people say about you, what people judge you, people being racist to you, people doing whatever. You need to surpass that. You cannot let that be the excuse. Says this ruined my day. No. I'm racist to everybody. Not only racist to anybody. I'm racist to just any person who comes into my room. But I'm gonna say, hey, look, people gotta try better.